How y'all? Positive Vibes, maybe. PVM the talk show. Your host, Dante Dash Smith. Guys, how are y'all feeling? What is the vibes? Sorry we coming to you guys so late. Our apologies, but you know how black people be. Sometimes we pull up on CT time. And in honor of today's topic, we will be letting it fly. And today's topic is the free speech. Free speech, free speech, free speech, guys. You know, and we're gonna get into we're gonna get into a we're gonna get into why today's topic is what today's topic is. And sorry for the voice change up, guys. To tonight's topic. Hold on, let me post this down, and then once I get this down. So tonight's topic was inspired in part by the Nori interview recently with Kanye. But this isn't about that. In fact, we're not even talking about that besides that fact. It's more so this conversation was more so inspired by the after effects of that interview and how, because of what he said, and how it triggered some folks, the conversation was completely deleted, and whether words were right, wrong, or indifferent, like your voice is your voice and it should be heard, should it not? So tonight's topic is in vogue because of that, because here at PVM, I personally feel, like your voice should be heard, regardless of your stance on anything. Your voice is your voice, your opinion is your opinion. You as a human being, that's your right, your God-given right. And we're gonna get into it tonight. So before I bring in tonight's co-host, my partner in crime for the evening, the executive producer of this television show, Kaang Rubin. I was about to say Chevy Kaang Rubin, but for those who know him as Chevy. For those who know him as Kaang. For those who know him as the Groove. Let me bring in my brother. Let's get this conversation going, And like I said, our apologies for being late, but we're black people. Also, before we get into too much into the mix, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel at Positive Vibes Maybe. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, subscribe to the Patreon, the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Instagram, And, stay groovy, stay blessed up, And let's get into it. Kang, how you living, player?
In the fucking dark. Yo, headphones, my G.
I can't. I don't even have mine on me right now.
Turn your speaker down a little bit then. Turn your
Okay.
speaker down a little bit then.
How about now?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. Nope. I can still
How about
hear you,
now?
but it's better. It's oh shit. It's better. It's
Okay.
better enough we can rock. It's
Yeah,
controlled.
I
As
can
long as
hear
you
you
can hear me.
clearly. As long as you can hear me.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Cause
can.
I keep.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not
Okay.
even
That's
that
even
bad.
better. That's even better. It really might just be the sound of my portable heater because it's getting nippy, but it's not too nippy for me to be cutting on the heat. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to get an unnecessary bill. Well, this is going to be a bill, but
No, it ain't the heater. It's just the feedback from
oh,
the
okay.
microphone into the
Got you.
speakers.
Got you.
Yeah. What's good
Man,
with you though?
I'm
How you
chilling.
living today?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm alive. No issues, nothing to really complain about. Just striving to be better. Just striving to be better. That's all I can say is. How about you? How you feeling today, player?
Yo, it's a fucking beautiful, cold ass fall day. You know what I mean? Like it's got all the environmental needs for
You
it to
right
be an
about that.
alright day.
You right about that. It's definitely been
Yeah.
a chill day. I definitely enjoyed the weather. Being the cold baby, it's been a nice little brisk, but it hasn't been too much freezing. Well, until now, now it's just a little chilly, a little too chilly for me.
Oh no, it's showtime. You know what I mean? Like it's over. Like the sundresses and daddy bleacher shows, all that is over. You know what I mean? Like you risking it all wearing that. You know what I mean?
Oh
Flu,
yeah,
pneumonia, all
yeah.
them
You
stuff.
asking for it. You asking for it. You asking for it at that point. Even just chancing it now, like I don't even walk out the crib without the hoodie on at this point. Like I ain't even.
Oh
I'm not even
no.
going to chance myself because I already know how it's going to go down. I already know. Like end up sick for no reason. I'm not trying to be sick. Like
No,
not
that's a
not when
fact.
the winter just heating up.
I, I should be in some light in like I don't know, maybe like
Okay,
15 minutes too.
well that's cool. It's cool. I mean, we can still start off this conversation. So
Oh, for
tonight,
sure, for sure. Dealing
yeah.
with asshole
So
drivers.
tonight's topic is free speech, you know, and with that, let me just start by opening up with a toss ball question of, where do you stand with free speech? Do you feel everyone should be entitled to free speech? Do you feel like it's something every person should be entitled to, or should people be opinions be concealed and kept to themselves?
So I'm gonna give. I've been thinking about that. So I'm gonna give you two fucking forms of an answer. Both of them applying to what I think exists in reality. So in actual reality, freedom of speech is supposed to be like breathing. The same way you allowed to take a breath, freedom of speech by definition supposed to be that way. I will say a thousand
Yeah.
percent yes to that.
But it's supposed to
Shout
be
out to the
like that
brake
way.
lights in front of me.
Was it really supposed to be that way for all of us, or was it supposed to be that way for?
But see, here's the catch. That's like telling somebody who got bad breath they're not allowed to breathe when you breathe.
I,
You know what I
hey, it was
mean?
a time they
It's
were
kind
saying
of
that.
like you
You know.
go around us. I feel you, but we talking about giving someone their rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the name of giving someone their rights, how can you be afforded a luxury that someone else doesn't have? If we talking strictly from the point of free and equal,
I,
you know what I mean? And the second one I'm gonna say is freedom of speech. What it looks like for humans is being compassionate of the surroundings as you continue to speak freely, gauging what you say amongst the responses around you. You know what I mean? That's about free as it get when you in a human to human free speech conversation.
okay. I,
Unintended, anything with no speaking without intention of harming, hurting, or offending somebody is technically free speech. How's received? Well, that's a whole nother party game.
true. True. Okay.
Do I believe in it? Yes, I speak freely all the fucking time. Do I speak freely with a curve? Yes, because in the name of knowing the power of free speech, you also got to know that that shit can either get you in a fight, an offensive situation, um, make you the unpopular vote in the room, any of that shit. It's repercussions to speaking freely. I will say that
Yeah.
right now.
Oh yes, it is. And that's part of where I'm gonna play devil advocate for it, and that's why I'm gonna play devil's advocate to the bit a bit when I say, free speech shouldn't be given to everyone, because of that exact point, that you can't control how everyone reacts to what you say, you know, and with freedom of speech, a lot of people, especially during this time of social media, where like a lot of conversations I had, on the computer, whether that's email or DMs or chats like that. A lot more people are like rambunctious and talk a little bit more out with their chest than they would if the conversation was had face to face. Uh,
Well, I agree. I agree. I'm gonna
Oh,
let you
go ahead,
finish
go ahead.
before I say something else. Yo, that's that buffer. That's that. that drunk alcohol, that heart of liquor
Yeah.
with courage. You know what I mean? I'm now online. You can't really confront me. Oh, I'm saying everything. You know what I mean? You can't put hands on me. You probably live 1,000 states away from me. You know what I mean? You'll never see this person in public. But goddamn, boy, you catch somebody in public that you've been looking for online,
Yep.
shit get interesting real quick. Free speech turned into, oh damn, I wish I ain't say that. You know what I mean? A small example of free speech going south. Look at how somebody comment. Look at the comment section. The comment section is a great example of free speaking, right? Because people are just writing away based upon the first impulse sometimes. Very few people are thinking about what they're about to comment. It's usually watch, respond, and then you got arguments in this jump. Some people just openly responded because that's what their brain said first. Some motherfuckers thought about it like that don't make no sense. Why would I say that? And then somebody else posted. First thing they gonna say is, "Well, stupid, you should have looked a little longer." If you take away somebody free speech, that's kind of trash. Yet, an unintellectual person probably shouldn't speak freely.
Yeah. And like, and but see, all right. See, this is my biggest gripe with the whole freedom of speech thing. Because I do, on one hand, feel like everyone shouldn't have a voice. I do feel like sometimes, yeah. Listen to me. Sometimes people just be talking out their ass, and they don't. And the power of their voice carries more weight than they even realize it, but or like or appreciating it. So I do feel like certain mouths should be closed. Like regardless. And this is like regardless of celebrity or whatever, like certain mouths should be closed. Just like when you just have conversations with certain people, you just know, you should shut up. Like you clearly clueless about whatever it is that you're talking about, vice versa. But with that said, you should have that freedom to sound like an idiot if you are an idiot. Like who am I to like, huh?
Why? So, all right, real quick though. What if the person who gave that person speaking all free at the moment this information and they was wrong, but they gave it to him with all this confidence, like, yo, this that shit, this is 100% correct. I'm trying to tell you, my man, you not listening. Listen. Now a person listens and repeat what they said, and to us it's like, why is this motherfucker even talking? But he don't know he was giving bad information. She don't know she was giving bad information. It's one of those things where freedom of speech exists, but it will always be chastised. It always be offensive to someone somewhere. Some of it go over the bridge, some of it go under the bridge. As we can see in our today times, shit get canceled with freedom of
Yeah,
speech.
and
You know
that's
what
an
I mean?
issue in itself. Like, do you feel like you should get canceled, or your voice should get canceled?
Yeah, if I ever get canceled, I'm throwing a party.
That's
That's
on
like
your
what on
to-do
my
list.
to-do list. It's on my to-do list. Yeah, yeah. I would love because that would mean I established myself to a point where somebody felt as though I had enough fucking influence that I should be
Mm.
canceled. That would mean I achieved a lot of shit I want. You don't get canceled. Me and you will never get canceled being me and you in the now. But me
Well,
and
we
you
can't
in the
say that
future
because we don't know
striding.
how what we doing now is going to change in the future. Like,
Yeah, but we can't get canceled now. I said now, like right now. Dash. Nobody knows who the fuck we
yeah,
are at this exact
I
point in
mean,
time.
except for the people that do,
They can't pull
unless
up
they
and put a
decide to
cancel on
cancel
us.
us.
Right, but they fuck with us. So they're not thinking about canceling us. That's the point I'm getting at. You don't have, it's not another side of the coin. It's still one side. It's our side of the coin. You know what I mean? You throw this conversation differently and there's more eyes and you say something out of pocket, oh, you best believe somebody gonna be offended.
Well, somebody's
It's
always going to be
guaranteed to
offended by
happen.
by anything that you do or say. That Yeah, I guess the trick is just like learning how to offend less of the masses, and what you say.
No, no, it's about what you said in the beginning. It's more about your freedom. Yo, people, one thing I've learned, Deion Sanders, right? He did an interview with a guy, and the clip that came out, I don't even know what the
We
interview's
talking
about.
about
I
with
don't
the earn
even
your
care.
leisure joint?
Because Deion, I don't know, with the boy who he asked to talk normal, he's like, yo, talk to me how you was just talking to me a few minutes ago before the
Mm.
camera started
Go
rolling.
ahead, go ahead. Tell me about it, cause I'm not.
All right, all right. So basically, he's sitting down for, I think it's either pre-game or after-game interview. And the guy is like, Coach, hey, what's going on? How you feeling today? And Deion Sanders was like, brother, brother, listen, do me a favor. Talk to me like you was talking to me a few minutes ago. Not like when this camera came on and he put this voice on and he became this other person. So Bull tries it again. He's like, yo, coach. And Deion Sanders like, can I see the mic? And he says, hey, how you doing? And he said, you see how that don't feel normal? It don't feel like you talking to me the way we were talking prior to. That's a big lesson on someone not being able to use their freedom of speech. Because if he would have talked freely, he wouldn't
Mm,
have put a voice on. He wouldn't have changed his character to be in
yeah, but I
conversation with
mean, it's
someone.
it's it's great to think that we all have freedom of speeches, but like to be realistic in certain facets of the world, we that freedom of speech it's all to how you can use it, and you have to adjust it accordingly to like those around you. Like I'm sure work, especially like in the industry that he's in, like he might have got told like, yo, you got to put on this certain persona, to make your audience likable or to make you more likable to the audience to sell your product, so you can do these interviews, or it became profitable for him too to do that as opposed to like, like trying to venture out, and a lot of times, like you are told like, yo, this is what you can or can't say, like, yeah, it is freedom of speech, but
True.
yeah, if you say this will end your career, and you're mindful of like things that can take your career down, or you're mindful of things that might uplift your career.
So Jetty got a comment that says
Mhm.
critical thinking at the end, right? And here's the catch. I got a question
Mhm.
for you and Jetty.
Well, first,
Is
let's
freedom of
let,
speech
let's read
tied
his
to
comments
critical
first,
thinking?
you know
Oh, right,
so
right, right,
go
right,
ahead,
right.
you can read them off, and then you can give your which one that's to say out of it.
He says freedom of speech is a stand on knowledge and information. Reception for the lazy who don't do the work to research or critically think. And he said rights are called rights because politics are, I'm sorry, I'm driving, are meant to recognize all men to be created equal. This is a constitutional and a collective conscience of the thought that help liberate a body of people. So, from a perspective of a political point of view, yeah, it was some words thrown together to make a campaign. It was a yes we can. You know how Barack
Yeah.
ran with that joint, yes we can? Freedom of speech was something they threw on the front of the banner. Now look, bro, get this vote, we're gonna give y'all freedom of speech. That's what we selling. That was the hope being sold. Freedom of speech was hope being sold for a vote, in my
Well, I
opinion, from a
mean, yeah,
political place.
everything he was selling on that campaign was hope, like it's just the idea of change, you know. But I mean, like even that, well, I mean, yeah, yeah, it was a lot of liberties with the freedom of speech in that, you're right, you're definitely right about that, because it's a lot of liberties where every campaign candidate that be running for elections, honestly, like it's, like freedom of speech is really depending on what field you're in, professionally, can be used differently, like, and the liberties which you're allowed to use your voice is viewed differently, like so for instance, like in music, say what you say, say whatever, like whether you curse, yeah.
Some people,
Well,
some people, because like Jetty just said, right and wrong. I'm gonna go ahead,
oh
let you
no, go
cook. I'm
ahead, because
sorry.
I
I'm
didn't know
sorry.
it
Go
was
ahead.
like artists being shunned, like, or for what, like, see, from my perspective, it's always been like music has been a way like artists can kind of say whatever they want to say. Like it's been a gateway, kind of like with writers. Like they've been licensed that anything flies. If it's in the art, has
Right.
in the art. Like, so if it's in the music, it's cool. If it's in a book, if it's in a movie, okay. Now if you just doing it as the artist outside the art, like, yeah, you're gonna be held to a different whatever. But like in that art, I always felt like you always had the liberties, as opposed to like if you're, let's say, a lawyer, like you have freedom of speech, but it's certain words you can't use because that's just unprofessional, like, and it's just unbecoming of the position. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So I'm in agreeing with you. Trust me. Supposed to be right, because that's my catch for this conversation. Supposed to be. Jetty said it isn't a matter of right or wrong, just right, as based upon what citizens are owed as a part of a body slash country or state. Agreed,
I
a
agree with that
thousand
too.
percent.
Like,
Like a thousand, yeah. We
but it's
every
still America.
person on a planet, depending on where you live, right,
Yeah,
is part of the game plan. You come here to
but
speak freely.
part of America is knowing that with that you really can't speak freely all the time. Like you kind of gotta know. Well, depending on who
Well,
you are. Yeah,
we gonna go right, and we gonna push that because you
yeah,
can
depend.
still speak freely. You just
Yeah,
got to deal with the
you know,
repercussions.
and
You know what I mean?
yeah,
We
and
just
there's
gonna
different
call it a spade.
repercussions for different people. I will say that. Different folk, different folks have different
All
repercussions
day.
for different activities. Some of them a lot of them we do the same. Like, but it's up in a different result, huh?
No, what? Watch. Even when you mention music, there's artists who don't get or not, who are not allowed to make certain albums or certain songs the way they want. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, motherfuckers have. That's where A and B side come from. You know what I mean? It's the song, the album, the label want, and then it's the song the artist thought was dope. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, it's a lot of songs we'll never hear just because they're not getting cleared
Yeah,
or somebody doesn't approve the way it's going to go. You know what I mean? You can't sign to Disney and they'll go rap about trap shit. It's not happening. Disney's going to be like, you're fucking up our image.
yeah. No, you dead
You real
serious.
talk.
Like, I
Like,
mean, See, I
like
see that part of the artistry. I always kind of looked at and blamed on the artist. Like that's part of knowing what's for you and what isn't. And kind of knowing who you are as an artist, what you want to do with your artistry, and knowing where you need to be and who's going to help you facilitate that dream. Like if you're trying to be Future over at Disney Records, like you already messed up. Like in my mind, because it's just like you dropped the ball yourself. Like, yeah, like,
yeah, you at the wrong house.
and if you
You went to
don't
the
know
wrong
that,
house.
like, I already can't. You already a bad investment to me. Like, if you don't know that, like,
Facts. But a lot of things take Disney away and make Disney X or Y. And most situations you get into, you're going to run into a point where it's going to be like, we like what you did on the
yeah,
last one, do that again. That's the same thing. You're stripping my freedom to show you who I am now. You're stopping my freedom of what I might want to express now because you want to give them that thing that you felt so before.
but it's not always a
You know what I
hard twist
mean?
at them times too. Like, I'm gonna say, and I'm just gonna speak from my experience of viewing a few people. Like you throw the right dollar amount in some people's faces, and hey, they tune and switch up.
Oh,
Yeah.
They turn out, but look what you just said. You had to sacrifice just to get your moment of freedom. And you're gonna have to do it again too. Even if you show them your way work, they're gonna argue now just because you one time decided to openly pay for your freedom. Imagine that.
No, that's real. That's real. You know. I mean, that's probably
Why be paying for something that's free?
well. I mean, they say it's free. Like we all know it comes with the fee. You know,
You say it's free.
like. But they say a lot of things in this country is free, and we know that it comes with a fee, and that fee is not always financial.
So, but once again, I charge humans to like do better. Allow a person to speak their mind without critically thinking it. Like, don't overthink a motherfucker's freedom of speech moment. If somebody just sharing some shit with you, cool. Somebody talking down to you, that's different. Yet we treat moments of communication like somebody got to
Mm-hmm.
be right and somebody got to be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
compared to just listening.
That's real. And you know what? That kind of takes me back to the Nori interview with Kanye, because like that was what was my biggest gripe with the whole situation. Like I ain't even watched the whole thing to really care about what he said. It was just the fact that it was taken down, and that's the part that didn't sit right with me. It's just like don't don't invite me to your platform. Don't record the interview. Don't air the interview and then take it down. Like almost.
Yeah, but watch this. Kanye in that interview said, "Yeah, that's if this." He said, "Yo," they was like, "Yo, you dropping jewels." He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's if this even gets out."
yeah, he did.
He said that shit. I watched it. I watched more than half of that joke, and I got a Japanese link right now. But like, I'm watching all the half.
I mean, I got it
You know what I
saved because
mean?
I got the audio. I got the video. I got it, so I got it available to watch. I just haven't watched it.
This nigga about to do his own bootlegs and drink champs. You about to have your Kanye bootleg drink champ
No,
moment.
well, I must got the YouTube plug or something, because like the link popped up. Like I had like four different links that popped up for the visual. So for me, like they popped back up. So I was like, oh no, it's back live, but we back up with it. Like, but for me, it was just like the taking of it
Right.
down. Like because for me, it was just like like you stripping my voice. Well, you're stripping his voice. And then in turn, I don't like that, because that to
Yeah.
me sets a bad testament, because it's just like almost if a large.
You would strip mine. You would do it to
Yes,
me.
and I don't like the fact that people being outraged can get you silenced like that. Like, okay, be outraged, be mad, say what you got to say, do what you got to do, feel how you have to feel. But my voice is my voice. My opinions are my opinions. And if it's already been released, let it stay released. What are we taking back? Because now you stripping me. You know, you almost proving that it isn't freedom of speech. Like, because if it was, why are my words being why is my stuff being held hostage? Why is my stuff being taken down? Why is it a group of people can feel a certain type of way, and now my words have to change, or I'm in the wrong, or whatever? Like. But that was my
No, you
biggest thing.
right.
That was like the
I
that was
ain't
the one thing
disagree.
that said that it just didn't feel right in my soul. Like, and it was just like, yo, I don't care if this man went up on there and said I hate black people. Like, that's his opinion, right, wrong, and different. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to like it. I don't have to support him. I don't have to. I can make that decision, but his voice is his voice, and what he says what he said. And
Yeah.
honestly, I like to keep a receipt and a blueprint of what people say. I wanna have this out there. So when you switch your tone and try to come at me with something different, I'm going back. Like, no, my nigga. Like, I still have the receipts. Like, this is how you felt. Like, so don't try to spin me now. Like. You know,
Mm-hmm. I'm with
and
you. I got
I
the
kind of
money.
feel like that's almost erasing history. Because I feel like in a couple months when this is died down, and he's switching a new agenda, and the ways is more pro Kanye or whatever. It's gonna be a different wave, and people gonna have forgot all about this. Forgot what he said. It's just like
Yep.
what are we doing? Like it's almost like your voice is up for higher. Like
I'm on the phone.
I know you like VIP. It's like going through celebrity.
Here you go with your shit. No, I just had to get to
I
the
know my shit
stationary
just tapped
place.
out. Like I like.
All right, here we go.
Mhm.
Listen, bruh. One thing that I feel like is learnable from Kanye's situation, from any
I know, yeah,
situation of
because we
freedom
could
of
get off
speech being
him.
taken away. Yeah, from any form of someone losing their freedom of speech. I believe that there's a thing where showing people that they can actually be free, like you don't have to follow certain constructs. Some people fear that because too many people not following construct can definitely possibly turn into chaos. You know what I mean? It's a high chance that too many free thinking humans can create chaos. I won't say it's a definite, but it's a possible. You know what I mean? And with that thought in mind, people fear shit like that. They fear someone showing you a radical way of thinking. The wild part is every time something's canceled, every time something's taken away from someone speaking freely, in my opinion, you're only showing people that it doesn't exist to the point where like they were right. That person speaking might actually be right. If there's a pattern that constantly get people canceled, it
Yeah.
might be a thing about this. And as a person trying to control something, that's a horrible way to show your hand. Because after a while, you know what I mean? How many more? What happens when it's like somebody everybody trusts? She's like a fucking mom, and she's on a fucking school board team, and everybody loves her. She fucking does crossing guard duty. It's a regular motherfucking Middletown white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian mom. I don't give a damn, but she got mad people that love her, and she share her opinion, and it gets canceled. What happens
Mm-hmm.
then?
That's a good question. It does happen.
Right? And we've seen it happen, right? Because they got all this right to not of abortion going on. That's pretty much that what I just told you is that woman's opportunity being canceled, of freedom literally being canceled. To me, it's more dangerous that you can get canceled for freedom than doing
Mm.
wrong.
I know, isn't that the crazy thing? Like that's the thing with society. Like everyone,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say everyone, but for the large portion of people that I've heard get canceled throughout the years, they've always done something like mediocre or pointless, where it's just like, why are we canceling them? As opposed to like people who've really done some shit, and it's just like, not a cancel. Yeah,
high fives and
it's just like, well,
handshakes.
what is
You know what I
going on?
mean?
What's up?
You out, my nigga? You out? Welcome home party.
Like, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm just like, like we live in this 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 hypo this society that just kind of just kind of mimics themselves with buffoonery, where we don't even take accountability for the bullshit that we be doing at the time, like that's a large part of why I think everybody does need freedom of speech, is because people don't know how to talk, and a lot.
Ooh, you go where I like to go now.
Like they, huh?
I'm listening. No, I'm listening. You going where I like to be at.
Oh
You know what I
no, because
mean?
they
Go
really
ahead.
don't. Like like um, just an argument, just in conversations, like just even in greetings. Like people just don't even know how to address each other. Like. But go ahead.
So the reason why I say that, you ever notice one thing I always talk about is like
Yeah.
clarity and communication, right? If you can't articulate your emotions, it's a lot of things gonna happen for you in this world. Cause somebody who don't know you. Your freedom speaking, right, can technically be scaring the fuck out of somebody. Cause some people live in such a bubble that the radicalness of your freedom speaking is just like horrifying. And you could just be talking about some shit you actually seen with your eyes. You ain't making it up. They ain't never seen in a day of their life. They like that exists. Hip hop is the token version of that shit. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers ain't know what was going on in no hood for real. Until hip hop happened. They was like, they doing that every day. They hang out around that abandoned car every day. You know what I mean? They on the steps of that broken down house every day. Wow.
You bro. But I mean, that's a part of music.
That's
Like
scary.
that just offer clarity in different ways. You know, like that's that's the good part of freedom of speech, that it does allow like the artists to express themselves. And for us to in turn learn. About different cultures and the way different people interact with one another. But there's also a downside too, because with that, it comes to knowledge of like how people hurt each other. You know, comes to information of gangs. Violence. And like with anything, there's always going to be some good and some bad for it. Like some people are going to use whatever information they have for good. Some is going to use it for bad. Like that's just the way of the world. And that's just the way. That's the way people are programmed.
So with that thought, that leads me to say this. The balance of freedom of speech is a repercussion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you gotta deal with those repercussions. Like that's you're right. That's the greatest thing from freedom of speech. Like you gotta be prepared for those repercussions, and
And
you can't tell a person how they should feel or react to your energy, like or how they should feel or react to the words you said, the things you displayed to them, because everyone feels differently. Like I I can't push you, Shab, and and say you overreacted if you shoot me in the face. Nah, like you did what you were programmed to do. Like I never should have provoked you. Like had I never provoked you, I wouldn't have got that reaction.
that's true, and that's accountability. We're gonna hold folks. We're gonna do accountability
Yeah,
court on
maybe
another one.
Sunday.
You know what I mean? We're gonna continue. Yeah, we're gonna continue to dive down the road of just talking about freedom, because freedom is it exists in every fucking body, right? And I think it has different forms because everybody's so different. I really feel like freedom for some people is just being able to get off work, go home, family, no family, whatever. They're doing something that satisfies them. And they're like, that's my freedom. And then there's like this other argument where it's like, well, that's not freedom
It's
because
all
you still got to
perspective.
go to work. You feel me? And that's where I'm going with it. Freedom of speech is a strong dose of someone's perception. You know what I mean? Because you coming off the cuff sometimes. Like you just letting it fly. Like right now, in all the honesty with you, me and you are
Yeah.
practicing freedom of speech. We don't have none of this written down. We have thoughts we may have had prior to, yet we're allowing each other to say something, hear what
Yeah.
the other one's saying, then reciprocate a thought. You know what I mean? That's free speech all day
Well,
long.
even the words we
The
choose
things
and
we
how we
go
choose
ahead.
to dialect, using slang, using ebonics, curse words, everything. That's all freedom of speech as well.
Yeah.
It's all up in there. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, you have freedom of speech. I'm not even debating it. I just will say it's to a certain extent. Depending on where you're at, depending on who you're around, depending on what you're doing. You know, these are all factors you just kind of got to be mindful of when you're, exhibiting that right of freedom of speech.
So in honesty, but once again, because me and Quick got it not into it, but we went back and forth on a discussion about fucking freedom and shit. And literally, he described it one way, and I described it another way. Yet we had the same thought and reason for the way we described it, even though he had one thought and I had another thought. Because his shit, freedom is absolute freedom. Like there's no left, no right. There's no paradigm. It's just freedom, like
I
open
speak on
air.
it.
My version of freedom is like what Jetty has mentioned, without the politics, just the critical thinking part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking with thought just a little bit, not a whole lot, but just enough so it's not babbling or offensive, or I'm not trying to quote some shit to offend somebody. I'm not freedomly speaking to hurt someone's emotion. You know what I mean? I'm not abusing my right to speak. Because if we take free off of it, it's more about speak.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we have a right to speak. Like, fuck speak freely and all that. Let's just go speak.
And embrace that right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because as one, I actually haven't even seen or heard yet. If someone say speak, it's always attached to free or yeah, it's always attached to free speech. It's free speaking. And I think it should be brung into speak. Like motherfuckers need to learn how to speak to each other.
No, that's facts.
Whether it's freely, whether it's critically. You know what I mean? I got asked the other day, what would I do? I think I would ever talk to a therapist. And before I could respond, I got told, don't say no cocky shit. And before I could respond to that, I had a thought. And I was like, if you can ask yourself the questions that bother you or face the things that bother you, you can then turn around, walk forward, and you can speak freely. And I mean, when I say free, I mean speak free without a thought of wondering or concern. I mean speaking with security, with confidence, you know what I mean? Like Jetty said, with knowledge. That's when you're executing well. Can't be lazy with it. You gotta put effort in it, yo. You gotta put
But
effort
what was
in
your
it.
answer though? Like, could you? Yeah.
Well, what would my answer be? I don't know what I would
I
talk to
mean,
this
anything.
motherfucker about.
Like when I went, we actually just honestly the first three sessions was really just talking about sports for real, and just like honestly how it got me into my love for writing. But it wasn't like we
That's what's
went up
up.
into there like just to just to talk. Like it was just really he asked a couple questions about some hobbies. He fixated on the writing facet, and then like we just kind of got chatting about that, and like from there, kind of started breaking down other stuff. But I mean, like it wasn't like here's my emotions, like on a planet, like
Yeah, but see, that's the catch. I'm only going to a doctor if I have an issue. I'm only going, not to say I don't get checkups and none of that, but I'm just saying, if I'm seeking outside of those who I already talked to, that I consider a person worthy of speaking to on a thought I'm having, I don't see myself doing it. That's my only reason for it, because I have that much faith in those I actually fuck with to give me a real answer. Before them, I have enough real conversation with myself that I address some shit with myself or outside party at the door, compared to taking that shit, putting it in a box, putting it on a shelf, letting it get a homie, letting it get a second one and a fifth offense and all that other bullshit. Now I got a closet full of problems I need to unbox.
Yeah.
I'm throwing the box at the motherfucker who gave me the problem. You know what I mean? Look, nigga, this your box. You do what you want with it, but I'm not leaving with this jar. I don't believe in carrying no more packages.
I
You
could
know what I
definitely dig
mean?
on that. I could definitely.
It helps. For me personally, it has helped. Speaking and talking has fucking helped for me, yo. Like,
Well, you gotta
tremendously.
always do what works for you first, like as somebody who done therapy a little bit, I suggest it for those who feel like they need it or just want an additional voice. For me, it wasn't even about like not trusting the people around me. It was just like what, let me just try something different outside the norm. Like
I respect that. But for me, that would be like, all right, so I'm gonna go make a random friend. It's not gonna cost me shit. And I'm gonna talk to this random friend about their whole fucking life and probably never see this motherfucker again. You know what I mean? Because also
yeah,
that's therapy in so many words, right? Like I meet random people, I meet people. Maybe that's the other reason why I won't go to therapy. Because I meet people all the time, have whole conversations, learn about families and fathers, and we talk
you have your
about
own version
random
of therapy
moments.
then.
I maybe that's what that is. Because when I asked, I was like, "Yo, so what do y'all talk about?" And they said same thing, similar. They was like, "Well,
Yeah,
we just started
you just
talking,
having
and this, that,
conversation,
and the
like
third, and yada yada yada."
like the whole earth shattering, we emotion cracking. Like you get to that within the conversation. Like it's not even, or at least with the therapist I had. It's just you get to it within the conversation. It's not something she was going in there searching for or digging for. It when it occurred, she poked holes. Like when it made sense, the prize, she prize. And in turn it helped start pouring things out of me that I didn't know. But like the whole breakthrough is more so you understanding yourself. Like most of the times the breakthrough occurred outside of the therapy for me, like where I actually was able to piece together things where I'm like, okay, this is why that happened, or this is why I chose to do that as opposed to this, like
And that, you see what you just said right there? That's my brain on some regular. I was definitely always piecing shit and finding puzzles and jigsaw puzzles to fucking solve. Because this is something my brain likes to do, I guess. I don't understand it. I let it run. And when I have a question, or when I feel like I'm bothered, I look at what's bothering me. Or if I'm upset, I don't carry being upset. I don't carry loss. Literally, yo, the greatest thing to put on the package of life and drive down the highway is joy, peace, and like everybody. Love comes from both of those. So you don't even got to mention love, right? Because if you got joy and peace, love is like right there. Because there's no way not to
but
have
you a
that in
hope.
the mix. You know what I mean?
I said you a hope.
Huh? I feel you, but if you got joy and
So,
peace,
yeah,
love
somewhere,
got to
yeah,
be
you
the
gotta have
right
some
answer
self love.
yourself
Yeah,
and your
you're right about
family.
that.
You know what I mean? I ain't talking about like a soulmate. I'm just talking about like when you got joy and real life peace and they're sustained, you got to have love going on in there
Yeah, no, you're
somewhere.
right.
You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying? And when you walk around with that shit, yeah, it's a lot of things we don't have or didn't achieve or a mile marker we didn't make. Because when I hear people talk about what they talk about in therapy, I also be quiet because in my mind I'll be like, well, that sound like a mile marker you didn't make. And that's okay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, you're right. So,
It's some shit we can't
yeah.
undo.
And some shit, I mean, once you're done, I mean, you should want to, Some things are better. Like I keep seeing this quote over and over again. So at this point, I'm gonna start planning to my life where it's just like, damn, how did it exactly go? But I forgot how exactly it went, but I'm gonna give you the gist of what the message was, and it's pretty much
I'm
just
with that.
moving on. Like wherever encounters you encounter, just take it with a grain of salt and just keep persevering through. Like and in some cases, you know, just because things fell apart doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad thing. More times than not, it fell apart because you're on to something better. So
Yo, first of all, the Insight has a very dope event
facts.
going on this Saturday. You know what I mean? BDSM, poetry, love, a room full of the
Vendors
things
all
that you're gonna
over,
find interesting. You
sexy
know what I mean?
women,
Hell yeah!
lingerie, ladies, fellas,
If my ass
pull
get
up.
off work, I'm
Saturday
definitely
night,
gonna pull up.
you already know, 7 o'clock on dot.
I do not know exactly what time it
I
starts,
think
so
it
I
started
ain't
at 8
singing that
o'clock,
song because
I
I ain't giving
believe.
out wrong information. I feel like
You
that
know?
might be closer. You know what I mean? We'll share the
Yeah.
flyer on the
I
actual
got the
the
links
joint.
already, so I'm
You know
gonna
what I
post some
mean?
things up. I kind of been posting them up
For
already,
sure,
but I'm
for
gonna post
sure.
them up again, especially since as we get closer to Saturday. Definitely flood that. But guys, tune out for that. Also, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Positive Vibes, maybe PVM the Talk Show. We are your illustrious hosts, Dante Dash Smith, Kaang Reuven. You know, guys, make sure y'all tune in this upcoming Sunday for a brand new episode. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, all that. Make sure y'all subscribe. Miss Sean Flossie, welcome to the live. You came just in time for our goodbyes. And Chef, did you want to leave the people
Word.
with a little lasting word?